Oh, what a glorious day, isn't it, you glorious Rascallion bastards. The name is FOXSOL, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to some more Wuthering Waves, and in today's video we're going to be discussing echo sets and pretty much what is the best case scenario for each set and what you should be looking at when you are building up your characters. A lot of this is going to be common sense based information, but you know, just in case there's some people out there who don't realize this, we're going to go ahead and break it down a little bit and help you on your way to becoming a WutheringWaves master. So stick around, stay tuned, sit at the bar, take it easy, grab yourself something to drink, and let's get started. All right, talking about, sets. You have two types of sets you could do. You could do a 2-piece set or you could do a 5-piece set. And typically you always want to do a matching 5-piece set. It does not prevent you if you want to do, 2 pieces of Freezing Frost, and let's say you want to do 2 pieces of Lingering Tunes, you can do that. You have full rights to build however you want to build, but the perks of a 5-piece set is typically always going to be much better. And taking a look at it like this with Freezing Frost, a 5-piece set will give you an additional glacial damage of 10% after releasing a basic attack or heavy attack, and the effect will stack up 3 times, and each stack will last 15 seconds. Molten Rifts 5-piece set will give you an additional 30% fusion damage for 15 seconds after releasing a resonance skill. Void Thunder will give you a 15 additional attack damage boost on electrical for releasing heavy attack or resonance skill, and the effect will stack up 2 times, and each stack will last 15 times. Each one of the 5-piece sets that you look at and you read over, they each have their own unique, different approach. Aerial damage right here, for example, will be increased by 30% for 15 seconds after doing an intro skill. Celestial Light will be the same thing in a sense. Spectral at 30% for 15 seconds after releasing an intro skill with a 5-piece set. So the Sun Sinking Eclipse after a 5-piece set. Havoc damage will increase by 7.5% after releasing a basic or heavy attack, and the effect will stack up 4 times, and each stack will last up to 15 seconds. When we go into our non-element based echo sets, like Rejuvenation Glow, Moonlit Clouds, and Lingering Tunes, they also have their own unique effect. Such as with this 5-piece set for Rejuvenation Glow, we're going to increase the attack of all party members by 15% for the next 30 seconds upon healing allies. Moonlit Clouds, upon using the outro skill, will increase the attack of the next resonator by 22.5% for 15 seconds. And then Lingering Tunes, the final 5-piece set that we're looking at, while on the field, the attack of will increase by 5% for every 1.5 seconds, and this effect can stack up to 4 times, and the outro skill's damage will increase by 60%. So this should give you a complete rundown of, what each set should do, from a 2-piece set to a 5-piece set. And we're going to go into our resonators now, and we're just going to discuss generically what sets would be good with what characters.
Let your guard down.
Alrighty, so before we can get into discussing the echo sets and what echo sets would best work with each type of character, we need to discuss what is going to be we need to discuss resonators and what's going to be our team compositions. And from this, I'll put it like this to you. You can take characters such as Changli, which may be qualified more as a sub DPS, and use him as a main DPS. Same scenario, for Shanhua. Even for the new character that came out, Zeishi. You can use her as a sub DPS or you can use her as a main DPS, depending on the route you want to go with. You have characters like Varania that can be considered a main DPS or a healer, even a sub DPS. Same thing for Baichi. It depends on what your mindset, what you believe is your team compositions. I know some people who run 3 main DPSs on a team and no healers, and that's fine. You just need to determine what is the role for each one of your characters and how you want them to harmonize and how you want them to work together. Because after before, when we looked at the echo sets, each echo set has different properties that can complement the character as well as complement the team composition itself. So, for primary example, I could tell you that my Chang-Li right here is my main DPS. This is my main team that I love the most. She does a boatload of damage. I made her a sub DPS. With her, she has the fusion set. Next, we have GLYTCH, who is my healer that actually has a split set. She has a 2-piece Moonlit set and a 2-piece Rejuvenation Glow set, and that is to basically maximize her healing capabilities to the team. And finally, for the main part of the team, we have Tao Chi that we have the Moonlit Cloud set on, so that way we can help buff up both our resonant skill damage as well as provide a 22.5% attack damage increase to our Chang-Li. And it works very well. The team complements itself in that regards. A team such as my GN team, my GN is going to be my main DPS. With him on his team, he's going to have Jianqi, who is going to be also running the Moonlit Cloud set, but she is going to be running it as a healer. Her Echo set mainly works as a healer to provide her with energy regen and to provide more healing and shield priorities to the team. Along with that, we have Mortifi that is also part of the team, who also is running a Moonlit Cloud set as a sub DPS to help go ahead and introduce again an additional 22.5% attack scaling on top of GN when doing the outro skill, and to provide him with that energy regen that he needs to make sure he is consistently getting into an alt phase. So thinking about this, let's go back real quick right here. You should be thinking, what is your team composition? To me, I always look at my team composition as main DPS, healer, sub DPS. This is how I have my stuff organized. You can see that this is my Jinshi team. You can see this is my Chang-Li team. You can see that this is my GN team. You can see that this is going to be a future team where this is going to be Zeishi as the main DPS and Shanhua being the sub DPS. And then you can see right here that this is just, again, the same type of one right here with a different healer. Okay. So when we're looking at this, we're taking a look mainly at the outro skills, you know, as the effect. So you can see like right here, these are the outro skills of each one. And with some of the echo sets, we can make these outro skills truly a benefit to our team composition and making sure it's harmonizing correctly. So I'm just going to really quickly just go through these real quick right here just to show, and you can see for yourself just what my train of thought is when it comes down to it. Now let's actually go ahead and get into the echo sets. So with you having an idea of what your team composition is going to be, what the job of each of your resonators is going to be, we can sit here now and we can actually take a look at the echo sets. So again, primary example, you can see with my Chang-Li team, like we discussed, she has a full fusion set. We can see that with GLYTCH, she has a 50-50 set where she is doing both healing and regeneration on it. And I know there's going to be some people out there that's going to be like, well, that's not optimized, but it actually is. And the reason for that in this case scenario, which is this will be a prime example, is that we can go a full 5 set of Rejuvenation Glow, you know, which will help increase the attack of all party members by 15% for the next 30 seconds. We could even go with Moonlit Clouds to get the 22%, you know, damage boost for the next 15 seconds when casting an outro skill. However, in the case of GLYTCH, what I did with her in particular is we've ran both Rejuvenation and we've ran both a Moonlit Cloud build of 5 sets, getting an additional 10% healing and an additional 10% energy regen on the same build kind of outweighs what I want her job to be. All I see Bai Chi being is coming in and healing my characters, not doing any kind of true amplification. Within her own set, though, you know, when she does her outro skill, healing a incoming resonator, you know, the healer, she's already going to be healing the resonator and giving them a damage amplification of 15% for the next 6 seconds. Okay. So I looked at it to where I want to get, you know, her alt that out a little bit faster. I want to get her healing up there a little bit more. Doing a full set of, you know, 5 rejuvenation, I don't get the additional 10% healing that you would think, because there is not a second rejuvenation boss, which is what I would be looking for. So looking at, you know, rejuvenation, we only have the bell boss. So I looked at Moonlit Clouds. In Moonlit Clouds, you can do the bell boss and you can also do the heron, which you can both, again, get them both in healing and worse, but I'm losing out on an additional 10% healing from the rejuvenation glow. I still want as much healing as possible. So the idea is let's do a split build. Let's do a build to where all in, like any JRPG, all she's there for is to come in and heal. So I'll get with her the 26.4% additional healing bonus. I'll get an additional 26.4% healing bonus. But with that, I'm also going to get the additional, because of the rejuvenation glow, I'm going to get an additional 10% on top of that of healing. And then I'm also going to get an additional 10% energy regen as well on her by doing a 50-50 build. So the healing, in my personal opinion, outweighs the 5-piece structure for what the character is. This is for you to determine, you know, what is it you want to do. Maybe, you know, you can sacrifice 10% energy regen. Maybe you can sacrifice 10% healing and you go with either type build. But I think that this build here, personally for me, works really well. Now, talking about my Tao Chi, there's a reason why she does not run a Havoc set. And I've had a few people, you know, not argue with me, more or less tell me that I'm not optimally using her. But I think I am in the situation I'm in. Have you ran into a situation where you need to get another team rolling, for example, but you don't have the resources to build that character up? Well, my Tai Chi is like this. To showcase my Tai Chi, you can see right here on the screen, she's not been built up. She is pretty much still day one, you know, put together, used, and thrown to the side. But because Chang Li came out, and Chang Li uses resonant skill damage, and Tao Chi's outro skill was all based on, hey, let's boost up that resonant skill damage, I needed to find a way on using her and making her useful to the team to benefit Chang Li. How did I do it? We did the Moonlit Clouds to get as what I normally run on almost every single sub DPS. The idea behind this was that I just threw straight stats. HP, attack, HP, HP, defense. All I needed Tao Chi to do in general is just survive in case I mess up a dodge, and I need her to have energy regen to pop her ult as fast as possible. I just need her to be useful in the team and then get to an outro skill so that way she can complement Chang Li by giving her a 22.5% increase with the Moonlit Clouds and a 38% increasement to her resonant skill damage. That's all Tao Chi's job is. Her job is not to be, you know, a DPS is doing damage. Her job is to complement and say, hey, I am also a support. I am here to support you by buffing you. I have the healer. I have the buffer. I have the damage. That is the ideal structure of how this team composition works, and the reason why you'll see me say that, you know, the Moonlit Clouds entire Echo set is actually very underrated and is actually really good, especially if you have characters that you do not by any chance have built up and you need to use them for their outro skill primarily. Moonlit Clouds allows you to take a very crappy character that you have, hate to say it that way, but you haven't developed them, so they're kind of crappy, and make them very useful in a way. So they have a purpose at that point in time. This is the reason why we go with a structure like this. Let's go ahead and take an example of another team here real quick. Alrighty, let's go ahead and overlook my Jinshi team as our secondary team composition example. Jinshi, as you can figure, is going to be my full-blown DPS. Her job is to come in, do damage. She's like Chang Li. It's all based on resonance skills, and she is a heavy hitter. How do we complement her? So first and foremost, with Jinshi, we already know she's a spectral character, so the Celestial Light set works. And let's put it this way, because we're going to be swapping into her, we want to make sure that we're increasing that spectral damage as much as possible. So doing a full 5 set of Celestial Light helps benefit us in this regards. But we have our characters such as Varania, who is going to be a, you know, our support. And you'll see that I'm not running Rejuvenation Glow, nor am I running Moonlit Clouds on this character. Why? It's because with her set and everything else, Varania is pretty much, hey, look, I'm going to heal you based on what my attack is, and I also do damage to a certain degree. So my Varania is another character that has not been built up in any which way, shape, form, but we can get away with doing a 5-piece set, not going into Moonlit Clouds, not going even into Rejuvenation Glow, not even doing a split build, because we got an additional boss for Spectro that allows us to have right here another character, another 4 boss in the set. So we can have a 4-4-1-1-1. And what this allows us to do here is to make sure that we are, I got the wrong one. I got the wrong bird on, by the way, neither. Let me fix that. So this allows us to have, you know, an additional healing bonus. We could change Ju here to have a healing bonus, but since, you know, Varania with her outro skill, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't used her in a little bit, but yes, you know, when she heals an incoming resonator by 19%, the attack of Varania is for 6 seconds. All resonators on the team get an amplification. So 19% of my attack is, when we're going to do an outro skill, is going to heal the next resonator. I figure a set like this would work out really well. Does that mean that this is the most optimal way? No, it's not. But I could tell you that you can use Moonlit Clouds, you can use Rejuvenation Glow, you can use Spectral, because there's different ways of building. So don't even, a lot of people are going to tell you a 4-4-1-1-1 is not going to work, it's not optimal, blah blah blah. But in some cases, when you have an undeveloped character that's, you know, not being utilized, you can make it useful. I am a firm believer that 4-4-1-1-1 is a good set that can be used in on certain units and in certain circumstances. We could take a look at our new character, Zeishi, which I know a lot of people are going to say should be using the Frost Echo set, the Freezing Frost Echo set. But we have her under Energy Regen. But if you take a look, the set is a 4-3-3-1-1-1. I mean 4-3-3-1-1, and all of it is based on attack, glacial damage, because we do have the ability with even Moonlit Clouds to have a substat right here like this that can be used, and it works out very well. And the idea of what Zeishi does with her own outro skill is that she is like Tao Chi. She is going to go ahead, when she swaps over to another character, she is going to amplify their resonant skill damage as well as their glacial damage. But if you have a character that's not having glacial damage, she is still providing resonant skill damage increase. I have a two videos on Zeishi already, one which is a guide that you can go take a look at it for my explanation of the Echo set and the reason why we're doing what we're doing, as well as to see the resonance skills on that. This is a character that is fully developed almost. That is very well useful, that the Moonlit Clouds complements Zeishi, I think, a lot better than the Freezing Frost. The only way I would see using Freezing Frost on Zeishi would be if we're going to make her a main DPS, which future-wise I plan to make her a main DPS, so I plan to get a full 5 set of Freezing Frost later when we're going to use her as a main DPS type character. But as a sub character, as a sub DPS, I think that this set right here is a better option altogether because it complements the team. Alrighty, so with everything being stated, we're just gonna get ready to go ahead and end the video. And just a quick recap: when you're working on teams and you're working on your resonators, it's always best to think ahead, to think, you know, hey, where's this character going to fit? Where do I want this character to work at? Reading their skills and going ahead and looking at gameplay of them and understanding different people's perspective of the character will always help you determine where that character will be better suited for you and your gameplay style. By figuring that out first allows you to figure out a whole wide range of different echo sets that could be utilized on that character. You can, as a main DPS, you can use lingering tunes, you can use an element base. So if your character is a spectral damage output, you can use that. If you want to, and you want to go pure damage, you can even use lingering tunes on a main DPS or sub DPS. The world is open. You have opportunities for whatever type build. I know that majority of people are looking for the most optimal builds at all times. Even I'm looking at optimal builds, but my optimal builds are based around whether that character is developed or if that character is going to complement another character. How is that character going to be utilized on a team to optimally make them stronger with an echo set? So it all determines to me how it goes, because really quickly, even my Jianqi here, she is a Moonlit Cloud support. She does not use Rejuvenation Glow. She does not use Aerial. She uses Moonlit Clouds, and the reason being for it is that we increase her healing by an additional 40%. She provides a shield, and she is just there to basically make sure that GN can get his ult popped. Very well done. So think of different things like your team composition, like your resonators, in order just to determine what set it's really going to work out for you. That's all I'm going to say. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback that you would like to provide or anything, leave that in the comment section down below. If the video here did help you in any which way, shape, form, consider giving it a like, consider subscribing to the channel. This channel is directly related into providing nothing but WutheringWaves content for the foreseeable future. We've changed all the content over to WutheringWaves because I really do enjoy the game. Whether it has its pros or its cons, I think the game is really well done and it's really a fun, unique game. Also, before I let you guys go, let you know in the description of the video, we do have a link to the Discord channel, brand spanking new, created just for this, for all our WutheringWaves content, gotcha game content, because the last server went pretty much dead because it was a Souls community we did, and we tried converting it into gotcha and it didn't quite work. So we're starting fresh. It died. We started brand new. So hit that link in the description below if you want to join the Discord server. Come ask questions. Come talk to me directly if you want. Pretty much I worked all day long, and typically I'm on Discord all day long. And if you got questions, comments, or whatever, you can also hit me there if you need to. Alrighty. Well, guys, hopefully you're having a fantastic day. Hopefully the rest of your day or evening or whatever is going to go very well for you. And at the end of the day, keep it classy, keep it jazzy, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.